Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sahar and I make videos on life in UK. Today I've got an important video for you with regards to the changes that Home Office has announced today, that is 8th of June 2020, with regards to visa application and temporary UK visa residents, anything that has impacted to them with regards to coronavirus. They have made few changes and I will explain them in detail. If this is something that interests you, please keep watching. So today was a good day because a lot of welcoming changes and advice has been given by Home Office today with regards to visa applications. So anyone who has been impacted by coronavirus will find this video very useful because it provides a lot of relief in terms of finances and test requirements and document requirements and as such. I would like to put out a disclaimer here that I'm not an immigration lawyer or an advisor of any sort. I'm just a normal person like you who is going through the visa application process and just to help out others in understanding the changes that I see coming through, because I'm also following immigration news these days. So I thought I'd help out anyone else who is right now in the same boat as me. So with that out there, let's move on further. Just to make sure that you know that I'm providing you with authentic information. As you can clearly see that I'm on the official website of Government of UK. This is where you apply your visas and make your applications. This is the website that you go to. And this is the special section which is dedicated to the guidance with respect to coronavirus or COVID-19. I've previously made a video about the changes that were brought forward by Home Office when all this debacle of coronavirus or COVID-19 started. So do not forget to check out that video if you're interested. But today I'm only going to talk about the changes which have been announced today. So all of this, the previous changes, we'll just go down to the new section today. So here it is. There are four important changes that have been made today. So first of all, the first change or the first leniency that has been provided from the Home Office is to anyone who is here on a fiancé or fiancée or a proposed civil partner's visa route. In that visa category, you get a 6-month leave to enter the UK as a fiancé or a fiancée, and then you have permission or you're allowed to marry here and then convert your visa to a spouse visa. So anyone who has been here with that intent, with that specific visa, has two options before them. One, they can apply for either an extension until the 31st July, which has been provided to anyone who has a temporary visa which is expiring before the 31st July. I have a separate video on that. If you're interested, go check that out. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that extension for the 31st, the next thing you can do is you can apply to extend your stay for a further 6 months. So because earlier you could only apply it one time and you had to get married within that time frame, but because of COVID, if you're unable to hold a wedding or a civil ceremony, you can now apply to extend your stay for a further 6 months. The second news is with respect to the change in income and adequate maintenance requirement. This is a very important relief that the Home Office has provided, especially to anyone who has been adversely affected by this COVID restrictions. We know a lot of people who have either lost their jobs or have lost the amount of income they used to generate. And so for those visa in which you need to have a certain minimum threshold of income, especially family visas or spousal visas, for that it's a good relief that they have made some leniencies. So let's go into what the 3 lenient conditions are now. First of all, that they're saying that they will consider employment income for the period immediately before the loss of income due to coronavirus, provided the requirement was met for at least 6 months up to March 2020. So, for example, before March, because all of this coronavirus debacle impacted UK greatly from March. So anyone who was earning the minimum required threshold for their visa category before March, 6 months prior to that, they should just provide evidences of that. That is 6 months before March. That would make it. Um, Let me count back to what would it September. So from September onwards, so if you submit your documents from September 2019, October, November, December, and January, February. So if you meet your minimum income threshold on those pay slips, then there should be no problem at all. You could easily apply, and they would consider that. Second is that if your salary has been reduced because you have been furloughed, and as we all know that anybody who has been furloughed is now only getting 80% of their normal salary. So if that has been the case with you, good news that they would consider you at 100% of your salary. So you do not need to be concerned that because of COVID you have now reduced income and that's going to impact. So it's so great news that it's not going to impact. Third is that if you have been self-employed and because of the COVID you have lost the average normal amount of income that you used to generate every month. So what they have done in this section is that they have provided a sort of like a blank out margin from 1st March to 31st July 2020. So if your income has reduced between these months, then they will disregard it and they will look at the overall previous incomes and what was your general average before that, and they will make a decision based on that. So this loss of income will not impact any recent application that you make or any future application that you make in the future in which you have to show income generation for these specific months. So I think this was a very good move by the Home Office to provide relief to people who have been greatly impacted by this coronavirus. The third change that they have listed today is that if you are unable to provide the specified documents, so what they have done is that in some cases they will be able to decide your application without seeing a certain specified document if you cannot get them due to coronavirus. Otherwise, you may be asked to submit the specified documents after the date of application. So what this means is that if there was a document that you needed to submit with your application, but you have been unable to get a hold of it because the office or the institute or the person that you needed to get it from, you cannot get in touch with them, they are closed or they are far away, you cannot reach them because of the coronavirus restrictions, then either the caseworker will decide your application based on other evidences, or if it is an essential piece of document and they definitely need it, then they will let you know as your case so that you can provide it after the date of application. So that's also a bit of a relief for anyone who is in a tricky situation like that. The last change that has been announced today is a change to English language requirement. Now, this again is a very important change which will be quite welcomed by a lot of people, and it states that if you're asked to take an English language test as part of your application, you can apply for an exemption if the test center was closed or you couldn't travel to it due to coronavirus when you applied. What it means essentially is that for the duration that the test centers are closed. At this point in time, all the test centers in the UK are closed and are not operational. So if you have a pending application, I suggest you to submit it as soon as possible so you can apply for this exemption, because English language test is an essential part of application. Only in certain categories you can claim an exemption. Otherwise, everyone has to get their language test report or certificate and submit it along. So as they have just announced that if you cannot take a test because the centers are closed or because of COVID restrictions, you cannot get to the test center, then you can cover that in your cover letter and explain to them that you have been unable to do so because of the COVID restrictions, and they should take that into consideration and decide your application without it having any negative impact or whatsoever. So this was very interesting to know that Home Office has provided quite a relief to a lot of people with these very few changes. So, all in all, I think it was a good change to hear today, and I hope that it helps you in your application. And if you have been waiting because of any of these problems, that you now have a better ease of mind and you'll be able to apply your application. And thank you so much for watching. This is it for today. If you liked my video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And if you know of anyone who might benefit from hearing these changes, do pass it along and share this video with everyone, and subscribe to my channel so I can keep making similar content for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.